What exactly is DeFi and what do you guys need to know about it? Well, DeFi stands for decentralized finance and it refers to the financial system built on blockchain technology that operates without traditional intermediaries such as banks, brokerages, or exchanges. DeFi relies on smart contracts and decentralized applications called dApps to facilitate financial transactions and services. And the main aim of DeFi is to create a more open, transparent, and accessible financial system for everyone. So to kind of dummy this down a little bit, we have a thing called smart contracts in blockchain. And this is when we can have an agreement built into code. So if I say, hey, I want to sell you 1,000 digital sheep and I want $1,000 in return, the moment that they give me $1,000, they automatically get the sheep. And this is executed on code or within a thing called a smart contract. Now, DeFi pretty much just encompasses all of these different smart contracts or decentralized applications that use these smart contracts. So you have different projects and teams out there building some sort of decentralized finance protocol. Think of a borrowing and lending protocol. They then have all of these smart contracts on their site that you can interact with. And then instead of these transactions going through whatever project built this, such as Aave, which is the largest borrowing and lending protocol in crypto, you instead are interacting with these smart contracts as well as people from all around the world. And these smart contracts are automatically executing these different agreements. So as soon as conditions are met, which is, hey, here's the sheep and hey, here's the US dollars, that automatically gets executed. And because it's on the blockchain and because it's on chain, it's super transparent and everyone can see these transactions taking place. Now, in order for a project to actually be called a dApp or a decentralized application, they have to use smart contracts. Just be aware, guys, there are different sites or different projects out there that aren't actually using smart contracts. And because of this, there is a lot of trust or reliance on that centralized authority or party, which are executing the transactions instead of some sort of transparent contract out there. Now, the benefits of DeFi is that it's accessible to anyone. It's super transparent. Everything is on chain. A lot of times it's more secure because you can actually read and look through these smart contracts yourself. And there are different smart contracts out there that have been battle tested, such as Uniswap, when it comes to swapping peer-to-peer. It's also interoperable, where you can have some of these smart contracts being used on multiple blockchains at the same time. And then the control and ownership is not on some sort of main centralized company or party, but is instead on a smart contract. And a lot of times these projects are just building the infrastructure and the front end and the code rather than you actually sending them the money or the sheep yourself. There's a lot of different use cases when it comes to DeFi. There's peer-to-peer swapping, such as Uniswap. There's borrowing and lending money, such as Aave. There's different DAOs or decentralized autonomous organizations that allow everyone that own a certain crypto or NFT to vote on things fairly, such as MakerDAO. You then have synthetic assets. Think of synthetic gold or different synthetic cryptos. You have different casinos, gambling, NFTs, gaming. You have different real world assets or RWAs, such as being able to take a real estate property, tokenizing it, and then building an economy out of that. You then also have decentralized infrastructure, otherwise known as DePIN. This is giving out computer resources such as graphics cards to different companies, projects, whatever the case is. And then there's also different more advanced trading DeFi use cases, such as trading bots, different perpetuals, futures, as well as pre-market trading. The amount of use cases is absolutely insane. I could go on and on about it, but think of anything in the Web 2 world that has some sort of contract or agreement. And now all of a sudden you can do that on Web3 or the crypto world with smart contracts, have it peer-to-peer and be way more transparent, as well as executing when conditions are met rather than trusting that other people are going to do what they said they were going to do. With all of these different use cases, there's also a lot of opportunities out there. All of these different dApps open up a realm of possibilities that were never before possible. Because of these smart contracts and because of different blockchain capabilities, you're now able to do things in ways that you hadn't previously, such as being able to instantly borrow or lend money from a peer-to-peer system rather than going through some sort of centralized authority such as a bank and not even needing to go through an approval process, but instead just meeting basic conditions or having a certain amount of collateral, for example. There's also a lot of ways to make money in this space and get yields that are way higher than your traditional investments in the stock market or S&P 500 index, for example. You can earn yields from providing liquidity on decentralized exchanges. You can lend out your your money to people and have collateral backing that. You can have fractionalized ownership of different expensive assets. You can own collectibles in games that can now earn you some sort of yield, or you can beat some sort of monster or get like a new Counter-Strike skin, for example, where you actually own that on-chain, that in-game collectible, and now you can sell that to other people and actually have that ownership. Overall, there's a lot of new ways to earn and benefit without actually needing some sort of centralized party. And what's cool is you have that privacy as well in that process. Now, it would be stupid of me to bring up all the benefits of DeFi without bringing up some of the risk. Because it's all smart contracts and because people can easily read those smart contracts, there are hacks that occasionally happen. You hope a lot of these hacks are avoided through different audits, but there are countries like North Korea or Russia that literally hire whole teams to hack these different crypto smart contracts. So when these happen, your money can get drained. And speaking of drains, sometimes you can interact with a bad smart contract or a scam or fraudulent smart contract that can drain all of your money. So you have to be careful. There's different regulatory uncertainty where a lot of this stuff on a legal standpoint isn't necessarily clear. On top of that, let's say you're borrowing and lending money, there can be a lot of market volatility in crypto, and that can cause you to lose money as well. There's things such as impermanent loss when it comes to providing liquidity on decentralized exchanges, which I'll cover in a future video. And because it's the wild, wild west, there are what we call rugs out there, which are fraudulent projects that try scamming you. Basically, they convince you to send them money or interact with some sort of coin, and then they don't fulfill their promise and they kind of dip out. So to summarize the core points of this, DeFi opens up a realm of possibilities that were not possible before leveraging smart contracts. Because a lot of this is peer-to-peer and we're operating directly with code, we don't have to worry about these promises not being fulfilled. There's no central authority or bank that's running the show. This opens up a lot more options and actually makes the economy a lot more efficient and effective. And a lot of times you can get much cheaper loans or borrow money at a much cheaper rate because of this. And then the fourth major core point here is that it's still the Wild West. Be aware that when you're operating in DeFi, there are hacks, there are regulatory concerns, there are rugs, but there's also a lot of different opportunities. And as time has gone on, we've seen more and more use cases open up in this industry.